it is on. But Setle, we are not able to make it. Hmm? That studio from there, we are not able to make that. It is not about the network because now it is okay. Let's wait for 5 minutes. Yeah, I just wish a few more students come and join before I begin. So we'll get it delayed by another 2-3 minutes and then we begin. Yeah, very, very good morning. Good morning, Harshvardhan and Prajwal, Renuka Devi. Very good morning. Very good morning. You are the first three. And Harshvardhan also has joined here, and he was the first to come, I guess. Anyway, nice. Yeah, the first thing is the longer holidays are a little boring, right? You feel for the first time you are missing something: the school, the friends, the classes, the fun. Everything seems to have been lost, right? But then actually, today it was a lucky day for you or unlucky day, whichever way you take it. Originally, I had planned today for class 10, but then yesterday I received a message, sir, we want it for class 8. So I thought, okay, let me have a single session with class 8 today. And maybe this is not the last day. Well, definitely we will be meeting and talk of a few things that matter to us from the textbook also. I know there are a few difficulties for you and for me. What are the difficulties you have? You don't have the textbook. And if I want to talk to you about a particular word and you don't have the text in front of you, yeah, you will find it a little difficult. For me also, the difficulties are a few. Say, for example, just imagining that you are sitting in front of me and talking, and imagine if somebody enters, they would see me as a person sitting alone and talking alone, right? And not just that, as I told you, yeah, I do miss that support of the book. Suppose I start reading the book, what will you be doing? And therefore, I have to find a way instead of merely finding for words, small things, the local understanding, local comprehension. Instead of that, I should go for the global comprehension, overall, what things are about. And I have to talk to you about languages. And before I could proceed on other things, I just advise you to download that app, Diksha. Have you downloaded it? Yeah, if you have any questions, you can pass it on the comment. I can see the comment also. And if you have any questions, you can ask. I will respond to that. Yeah, you can ask the question. How many of you have downloaded the Diksha app? And Diksha app, every week, they are giving that CCT practice. Instead of sitting like a dull boy, you remember that nursery rhyme, all work and no play makes Tom a dull boy. Yeah, good, Harshvardhan, then download it. And welcome, who is the latecomer? Maruti. Yeah, welcome, Maruti. Yeah, please, if you have not downloaded Diksha, please download Diksha app. It helps you not only in, yeah, thank you, Prajwal. It helps you not only in the CCT, we'll be assessing your critical and creative thinking skills. Throughout this year, this would go on, continue. And we have to follow different methods to catch up. Uh, Say, classes are not there. And don't ask me when the classes are going to begin. Neither you know nor I know. And therefore, we have to find novel ways. Novel? No, I'm not talking about the novel coronavirus. I'm talking about novel methods, new methods of keeping ourselves updated, new methods of developing our own comprehension. Yeah, good, Pavan. Good, good that you have all downloaded. And I also request you to practice. All right, now let me come to today's topic straight away. You know, I'll be talking about general things, and also I'll be talking about you know, what concerns you with your course of English. Now, before I begin, let me ask you a question. Who is your enemy? Whom do you call enemy? Maruti. We downloaded it. Who are we? All your classmates, are you sure? But I find hardly around 15 students attending my class today. I wish the number had been more. I asked a question and I expect a response in the comment section. What is the meaning of enemy? Who is enemy? Prerana. Okay, Prerana. But it's in the name of Maruti. Okay, Prerana. That's good. But answer my question. Whom do you call enemy? The person who cheated, sir. Fine. Very good. Very good. Yeah, very good morning. Yeah, that's one of my teachers logging in. Welcome, Suman. Yeah. Our mind is our enemy. Oh, that's excellent. Excellent. If you want to think of me as your enemy, if your mind thinks, well, I can't do anything about it. I cannot change your mind, can I? But very nicely said. Well, who cheated us? Suppose you are enrolled in army, and there is a war with a neighboring country, and there is a soldier who is right in front of you. What would you call him? Yash had said, the person who cheated, sir. Find this person who is enrolled in the army of the other country. He has not cheated me. But what am I trying to do, or what are you trying to do as a soldier? You are trying to shoot him down. And what does he try? He too tries to shoot you down. And we call each other enemies. Are we enemies? Yeah, the person who hurts us. Okay. Who's that? Renuka Devi. Yeah, fine. Yeah, that's what. You would shoot. You would shoot. Yeah, I don't know who he is, but I'm asked to shoot. I will shoot. He's not my enemy. Suppose he had not been enrolled in the army, and if you had not been enrolled in the army, when both of you happen to meet over a cup of coffee in a coffee day shop, will you shoot him then? No. But you look at the other way around. What about a cat and a rat? Or what about a mongoose and a cobra? Or a peacock and a cobra? Or a tiger and a deer? Yeah, Vaishnavi. Yeah, good Vaishnavi. Good. The enemy is a person who thinks bad for us. How do I know? All right. How does the peacock know that the snake is thinking bad for him? In fact, only for the sake of food, they fight. That's an inborn enmity between two species for survival. For us, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be touching the nose, right? Okay. Okay. That's good. Yeah, yesterday somebody pointed out when I was teaching class 5, because I have the habit of touching like that. And somebody said, "Sir, you're touching your nose." And then I thought, all right, today onwards, I'll keep this at least in front of the camera. Now that question is, the person who thinks bad for us is enemy. Fine. For animals, it's okay. For men, nobody thinks bad of others. We only try to find out differences to fight, differences to make an enemy. When you are in Europe, all Asians are together. And when you are in some other part of Asia, all Indians are together. When in one particular part of India, all your state people are together. In your own state, one particular town, all of you meet, then your own district people are together. We try to divide people and then say, he is my enemy, he is my enemy. Ultimately, of course, your own neighbor becomes your enemy. In your own house, your own brother and sister becomes the enemy sometimes. That's what, Gurudev, whom we call Gurudev. If you know the answer, you type it. Let me see. Let me see whether you know who Gurudev is. You know what Gurudev very nicely said? Where the world has not been fragmented into narrow domestic walls. Fragment means small pieces. He's praying to the God. Let my country awake into a world that has not been broken up into pieces by narrow domestic walls. What do you mean by these narrow domestic walls? Like this, I belong to this country, I belong to that country, I belong to this gender, I belong to that gender, I belong to this state, you belong to that state, I belong to this community, you belong to that community, I belong to this religion, you belong to this religion. Who made all this? Did God make all these divisions? We have made it. And if you think good of me, if you are not going to harm me, why should I harm you? Am I right? If I don't have anything ill about you, why would you have anything ill about me? Imagine both of us are enemies, all right? And both of us are dropped in Coral Island, some far away island we are thrown. How long can you and I be enemies? Okay. So yeah, I've understood that enmity is something that should not be there. When you talk about religion, there is no religion that says, I hate your enemy. Love even your enemy. That's what every religion says. We don't hate anyone. Because there is no God-made enmity between man and man. There is no natural enmity between any two individuals. You and I, we are not enemies. Not like cat and rat. Not like a snake and rat. We are born to love each other. A person who opposes his enemy. Oh, well, that is Prajwal. Prajwal, I ask you one question. You are telling me that any person who opposes his enemy. Very good. Very nice. You don't like him and therefore you call him enemy. But if you are going to agree with what all I am saying, then you are not Prajwal. You are Padmanabhan, right? But there is a need for a Prajwal also. If everybody is going to happen, no, everybody is going to be Padmanabhan, then where is Prajwal? Where is Renuka? Right? Or where is what others? Yeah, Harshvardhan, Lingeshwar is there, Pupolkar, Ravindra Singh, Renuka. Yeah, fine. Now just answer my question. You must have the right to oppose me also. That is democracy, right? I should be able to agree that you have the right to disagree with me. You need not always agree with me, and you cannot. And if you agree with me on all counts, then you are. There is no need for another person like Padmanabhan, right? Okay. But in this part, we keep aside who is an enemy. Or do we really consider enmity? You see, we have seen two world wars. Remember the First World War? 1914. Germans dominated the entire world. The Germans were on one side. Who is that late comer? Yeah, good morning. Who's that blue pansy? I do not know who that blue pansy is. Yeah, fine. Yeah, what should I say? Yeah, the British and the Germans, they were up against each other. You know how the war front looks. They fight. Keep that aside. Now we'll come to another part of it. One of the festivals of the world is Christmas. Across the globe, people celebrate. It is a festival of gifts. You give. Why? That's a day to mark a love of God towards mankind. So you give anything that is given as a Christmas gift. Yeah, give and take also. Okay. Harshvardhan, we give not in the expectation to take. If anybody gives, fine, we take. But it's not that I give because I want to take. It's not that. Am I right? The real love lies in giving. Okay, because Harsha said about that, give and take. I would advise you to go through one of the short stories of O. Henry. Uh, O. Henry. The story, name of the story is Gift of the Magi. I do not know whether you are able to see that. Is it the other way around? I guess so. Yeah, O. Henry, Gift of the Magi. I just want you to go through that story. I'll put that story in two lines to underline what Harsha has said. True love is always about giving, not just about taking. In the story, we find a very loving man and wife. The wife has nice hair and she needs a clip for that. And her husband, he has a watch, but he doesn't have a fob chain. Both of them, they say, yeah, we'll save money, we'll buy this, we'll buy that. But they are never able to buy. And on Christmas Day, The man brings the clip that she wanted and gives it as a gift. And the wife brings the fob chain for the watch and gives it to her husband as a Christmas gift. But the irony is that, you know how he bought the clip? By selling his watch. Do you know how she bought the fob chain? She cut the hair and sold it and bought the chain. See the love? Doesn't love mean only giving? It's not just about taking. Do I sound right? But now we have a nice story which begins with the storyteller. We have only three characters, not many. Three main characters we have. And you find the storyteller, or you call him the author, going to buy a Christmas present from an antique shop. You know, you keep all these old things, it's called antiques. There are people who collect antique clocks, antique watches, and all that, the old things. He goes to an antique shop to buy something new, and he finds a table which otherwise generally will be very costly. He buys, it is a damaged one. He has to do a bit of repair here and there, and he knew it. So the narrator buys that table at a cheap rate and brings it home. He has to do the repairing work of it. He does all that. The lower drawer, he is not able to pull it. It's very tight. Very tight. With all difficulty, he opens it. He finds a very, very old letter. A very old letter written in 1914. Now I leave it to your guess. I just want to ask, what do you think will be there in the letter? Because you have seen so many movies, Let me see whether you are getting creative. What do you think will be there in this letter? Remember, the letter is in a drawer of a wooden table in an antique shop. What do you think is likely to be there in the drawer? Any guess? I'll give you a minute. Let it be any wild guess. There'll be a map of treasure about the greatest old thing. Okay. Then what else? Yeah, there are a few messages here also. Let me see. Started. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Yeah. Yeah, it's from some of my friends. Now there is a letter. This letter is written by a soldier. Because I talked about war, he should have been able to correlate it. Yeah, good morning, Prashad. So late. Yeah. Ah. So this is a letter written by a soldier. To whom? To his wife. When? On the day of Christmas. And who is the person? Let's know both the characters. Name of the wife, Hans Wolf, and the husband is Jim Macpherson. Fine. Jim Macpherson is in the war front. Tomorrow is Christmas. You know, you don't have a house or a bungalow in the war front, right? You are on the border. You need to be in your own bunker. You know what is bunker? Where you hide and shoot your enemies. Enemies. Why is he your enemy? And somebody said, you know, those who do not agree, they are our enemies. Let's see. Let's see whether that is true. Well, suddenly, from the enemy camp, that's a German camp. From there is a white flag. What's a white flag for? What is the white flag shown for? Anybody knows? What is a white flag for? But generally, a people of a particular nation, they get a nickname. Say, you know, it is offensive in some cases, of course. Say, for example, in case of Japanese, you say they are Japs. Sukanya. Okay, yeah, it's your dad's name, right? I forgot. It would be better if you log in with your own name. Nice, Sukanya. You are a latecomer. You are the latest, is it? Good. Now my question. Now you have nicknames for people of certain nations. Say you have Tommies. Tommies means you know that is how the British are called across the globe. Is a Tommy. Is a Tommy means he's a British. Fritz. Fritz means he's a German. As I said, Japs. Japanese. So here there is a white flag, and I asked you, what is a white flag for? Uh, what is a white flag for? I'm waiting for some response. Yeah, there are so many online. Prajwal, what is a white flag for? Sukanya, white flag is a symbol of what? When do you show white flag? Ah, that's right. Yeah, everybody knows. Then why don't you respond immediately so that I can proceed? As for peace. Good. Har manna. Not always. Not always. Now, in this particular case, remember, tomorrow is Christmas. The Fritz, or rather the general there, you know, the German army, he thinks, yeah, You are not my enemy. I am not your enemy. The countries are fighting. Why should you and I fight today? And tomorrow is Christmas, a day of love. Why not we stop the war for some time? So this narrator has a doubt. Hey, don't believe this fellow. He might ask us to get up from the bunker and he might shoot. But then he says, no, 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 no. All of them, all the Germans, they come out, they see no gun. When they see no guns, the Tommies, the Tommies, the British soldiers, they understand this is real, genuine. And they also drop their guns and they come. They talk. Then they decide, all right, let us sing a few carols, Christmas carols. They sing songs. And they also think, all right, why not we play a game? Where to play a game? Remember, this side it is England, this side is Germany. In between, what we call no man's land. This land neither belongs to the British nor to the Germans. It's a no man's land. So they decide to play the game of football in no man's land. And you know, Germans are very good in football. That took in 1914 and all that. You know, Hitler was a person who was very, very fond of football. Was very fond of football. You know, at that time, you know, a little later, there is a saying also that he wanted Dhyan Chand, our Dhyan Chand in his own football team. He said, I'll give you anything that you want to come out to Germany. That was the fame of our Dhyan Chand. So Germans were always good in football and hockey. And you know, the British, they had always been good at cricket. So the British soldiers wanted a game of cricket so that they could win. And the Germans said, yeah, we'll have a game of football. And they had, and naturally, who will win? The Germans win. You know, generally, when the opponent wins, we try to find a reason, right? We try to find a reason. Say, hey, come on, come on. See, your goal post was very small, and our goal post was big. Therefore, you were able to score more goals. That is how the Germans won the game. Fine. That is how we have to cheat ourselves, deceive ourselves, and say, we lost. But all the same, the narrator had a chance to talk to that general of the German army. You know, very beautifully he says, we agreed on everything, but he's my enemy. Now recall what you said some time back. Somebody who does not agree with me is my enemy. Sometimes it so happens, look at this case. Both the generals here who are leading their team, they share everything in common. Both of them lead almost the same life. But then he says, yeah, both of us, we think very much alike. But then he's my enemy. Okay, over. Who wants war? Neither you nor I. We don't want widows. We don't want orphans. Because in a war, there is no winner. Both are losers. One loses the life and the other loses the economy. So somehow those two understand that this war is irrelevant, but then they break it up. Mic not working. Why? It is working. Monvit, is there anybody who is not able to hear? Monvit says mic is not working. I don't find the trouble here. I think it's your speaker, Monvit. Yeah, it is working. Yeah, it was your glitch, Monvit. So this ends. This part of the story ends there. All this is written in the letter. Remember the letter that the narrator saw? It's written in the letter. Now, suppose you are this narrator. What will you do with this letter? Address is written there. The letter is written to his wife. What's his wife's name? Hans Wolf. The address is written there. What do you feel like doing? Another letter, yeah, he assures that he will meet her for the next Christmas. Now, what will you do if you have this letter with you? This was written in 1914. You neither know whether the soldier is alive, nor do you know whether his wife is alive. Neither Macpherson is, we don't know whether Macpherson is alive or Hans is alive. We do not know. Then what do we do? Give it a try. There is some address given there, right? Why not go there and look for that old lady? So he goes searching for the address. And the house is burnt. Yeah, submit to police and find it. Baswaraja Harshavardhana. Yeah, it's good. Generally, that is what we do. But I have a curious feeling. I want to see that lady who is loved so much by this soldier. I want to see how happy that wife would be on seeing this letter. Remember, another antique 1914 letter written by her husband. How great that would be. He takes the letter and goes, finds a burnt house. Because Hans never used electricity. She used only candles. She believed that electricity is costly, and therefore she never used electricity. And she had been admitted in a nearby hospital, and her neighbor says, yeah, I know her. She's in the hospital. Now this narrator goes to the hospital. And then tells the janitor, the maid, the nurse. And she says, yeah, she must be very happy. She doesn't have a family, and if she comes to know that, yeah, today is Christmas. And today, on a Christmas day, if she learns that somebody has come to visit her, she'll be very happy. So saying, the nurse takes the narrator to Hans. And Hans is now 101 years old, with her eyes waiting for someone. You know whom she was waiting for? The waiting had been pretty long. The last promise was that next Christmas I would come, and he had not come. And she, in all earnestness, has been waiting, waiting, and waiting. Now he goes and says, Hans, here's the letter. And Hans, she does not see the narrator as narrator. She says, now that you have come, you read it yourself. I had been waiting for you all these days. Read the letter for me. So there is a misunderstanding, mistaken identity. Because of her excess love for her husband, she sees this boy, the narrator, as her own dead husband. Maybe he is not dead, we do not know. But a soldier's life is never known, right? Soldier is not there. His wife, with all love, is waiting for the. Now, this is the best Christmas gift I can have on that day. Not just a letter. Yourself coming over here is the best of Christmas present. So that's a story. I know I have just been very casually narrating the story. We need to get a bit deeper into the language. We need to talk about, we are talking about the things that happened in 1914. Whenever we talk about anything that happens in the past, definitely we know it is in the past. You say, we use, no, he went, he saw. When there is a definite time, he went to the theater at 9 o'clock. I saw him last year. And when I saw him, he was playing golf. Look at the two. When I saw him for how long? For 1 second. When I saw him, he was playing golf. And before I saw him, what was he doing? He was playing golf only, no? And when I saw him, what was he doing? Playing golf only. Maybe immediately after I saw him, what was he doing? He was playing golf only, no? So he was playing golf, and in between I saw him for one spot. When I went to his house, I saw his mother cooking. So before I went to his house, what was his mother doing? Cooking. And I went, she was cooking. And after I went, at least for some more time, she was cooking. Now I want you to give me at least 5 sentences using both one past tense and one ing. When I saw him, he was sleeping. When I asked him a question, he was blinking. Give me at least 2-3 sentences to call it a day. Then I'll give you a small word. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'll give you 1 or 2 more sentences. The snake was going away when the gardener hit it. The girl was singing when the teacher entered the class. If I get 1 or 2, should be good. I was playing when the result came. The result came. Just before that, I was playing. At that time, I was playing. After that also, I was playing. I was playing at that time. And you use a simple past tense there, or you just talk about a dot. At that time, I went, and what was the other person doing? He was doing something for a long time, or it was doing something for a long time, and I happened to be only a point. Come on, are you there? Quite a number are there, but no response. When I saw her, she was playing. Very good. Very good. When I went to his house, he was working. Very good. Very good. When I went to his house, because we are talking about past tense, right? When I went to his house, he was working. When I saw her, she was playing. Not she is playing, she was playing. Right? So that's a relationship between the two tenses. Now, uh, I want you to understand another difference between two past tenses because I'm taking from your workbook. Yeah. You can download the textbook or you can ask your class teacher or I will send the YouTube link. You can download and read the story and also work on the language items that I have taught you. I know I'm not able to write on the board or anything. Actually, I should have been at home. Actually, I was at home, but I had some other work. I had to come to school. I'll be happy if you write the answers and mail it over to me. Fine? You mail it over to me, I will evaluate. And next one, I want you to write about, I want you to think of yourself as one of those soldiers who played football that night. You know, how you will write your diary that night. How do you feel after playing the game? Who did you play with? Your enemy, right? How do you feel that night? Have you ever had that chance? Some friend of yours, you are not been talking for quite some time, and at the end of it, okay, no cutting. Now, okay, we'll talk. The friendship gets revived. How do you feel that day? So happy, right? I've had. In fact, more than talking to an everyday friend, talking to a long lost friend, a friend whom I had lost, I thought I lost. Now getting him back, that gives that immense joy. Somebody whom I thought to be my enemy, he becomes my friend. How nice it is. So I want you to think of it that way, that you are one of the British soldiers. Give yourself a name. And you will be writing a diary. What all you felt. Just about 10 sentences you write. What all you felt after that Christmas Eve. What is Christmas Eve? See, tomorrow is Christmas. And this evening is called Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is Christmas. Today evening is called Christmas Eve. This Christmas Eve match and the songs. Who are you singing with? Your enemies. Fine. Yeah. Now you are at a time, we go against the proverbial saying. They say, united we stand and divided we fall. Now, this lockdown time, it is just the other way around. Divided we stand, united we fall. Don't get united with your friends and companions and strangers. Be divided. Keep a safe arm's distance. Even my laptop is 1 arm distance. Keep at a good distance. Enjoy. And if possible, I will ask your teachers to talk to you like this every day, or at least for half an hour. Will be good. Of course, I do not know when I will be talking to you next, because I have spoken to only 4: class 10, class 5, class 2, now class 8. Now I need to talk to 2 more classes. I'll talk to them and I'll get back to you. And definitely you will be getting a message. And I request you to inform your friends also that next time around I want more number. And before I come next time it will be the question of recap. I want you to read this story and come back so that I can ask you some more questions. We can have some word play. You go through any difficult words, you just write it yourself. Then we will have a detailed discussion on this too. Is it okay? So shall we call it a day? Goodbye. Goodbye, all of you. And we'll meet. I'll let you know the next date when I'll be meeting you, but definitely I'll ask your teachers to meet you. Okay then? See you.